Welcome to Chapter 5, Forms of Business Ownership. There are three major forms of businesses. First, there's sole proprietorships, which most businesses that are started are sole proprietorships, which means they're owned and operated by one person. There's a partnership, which is owned and operated by two or more people. And finally, there are corporations. These are legal entities that exist independent of the owners. This means that if, let's say, the owners passed away, the corporation still goes on. For example, Ford Motor Corporation, when Henry Ford I passed away, Ford was a corporation, so it existed even when Henry Ford was gone. You can see by these pie charts that most businesses are sole proprietorships, but when you look at who makes most of the sales and profits, it's overwhelmingly corporations. Sole proprietorships are very popular because they have many advantages. They're easy and inexpensive to form and dissolve. For $50, you yourself can go and get yourself a business license and be a new business owner. And if you decide tomorrow that you want to shut that business down, you can do it. The profits all go to the owner. You have direct control of the business. You have a lot of freedom from government regulations compared to corporations, and you don't have the special taxations that corporations do. Sole proprietorships also have many disadvantages. First of all, it's hard to raise capital. Banks are oftentimes very wary of loaning a lot of money to sole proprietorships. There's also the unlimited liability and potential loss. Many small business owners who are sole proprietors get million-dollar insurance policies to cover themselves because there's the potential that an irate customer, could sue them for everything that they own. There's also limited expertise in all the different areas. For example, a person may decide he wants to own and operate a restaurant because he's a great chef, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's a great accountant or a good manager of employees. A sole proprietor can also have trouble finding good employees because it's difficult to offer them the benefits and pay that a larger company could. It's a large personal time commitment. You can oftentimes work around the clock, and it's an unstable business life, especially if you're working in a field that is very seasonal or if the economy takes a downturn. Partnerships are also easy and inexpensive to form. With a partner, you can share diverse skills and expertise, and if there's someone else there to work, you may have some flexibility in your work schedule, in the types of work that you can do. There's also relative freedom from government regulations. Partnerships don't often experience the same regulations that corporations are bound by, and there's also no special taxation. Some disadvantages of partnerships, some things that happen quite often, is conflict between the partners. There's also unlimited liability and potential loss. You have to, if you have a partner in a business, you have to share the profits with him or her, regardless of if you feel that you're doing twice as much work. And also with a partnership, it's hard to leave or end the partnership. If you're a sole proprietor, you own a business by yourself, you can decide tomorrow to end the business. If you have a partner, he or she may tell you that's not going to happen or it's not going to be that easy. If you're thinking about starting a business with a partner, some topics you'll want to cover is the purpose and the duration of the partnership. What kind of business are you going to start, and how long do you picture the business lasting? Outline the roles and responsibilities of each person and what each person expects to get paid. The contributions, what will each person contribute to that business on a daily basis, on a weekly and monthly and yearly basis. Outline the procedures for adding and removing partners. What will the buyout procedure look like? Come up with a dispute resolution policy ahead of time. Make clear your financial arrangements, and also make clear how you'll dissolve the partnership if that happens. And also, if you decide to sell the company, how will you evaluate the company's worth and splitting the assets? There are many advantages to forming a corporation. One is the limited liability aspect. If you formed a corporation with others, if a customer decided to sue your corporation, they could only sue you for the assets that the corporation owns. They couldn't come after your house and car. It is also easier for a corporation to get financing. Banks often look at corporations as a more stable investment. It's easier to transfer ownership. There's an unlimited lifespan to the corporation. For example, if the owner of a sole proprietorship died, the business generally dies with them. With a corporation can live on for generations. And there's also special tax deductions for corporations. There are also many disadvantages to forming a corporation, including double taxation of profits. Sole proprietorships and partnerships don't see the hefty taxation that corporations do. Corporations are also more costly and complex to form. It usually involves a lot more paperwork and oftentimes pulling in a lawyer to help out. And there are a lot more government restrictions. Agencies like the Environmental Protection Agency are much more likely to closely analyze what a corporation is doing than a sole proprietorship.